Well, good morning once again, and thank you for joining us this morning. Looks like we've got a pretty good group here in front of us. This is Mark Contra again at the Messer Financial Office, and this, of course, is our Wednesday Life webinar. Of course, our objective here today is to bring to your attention another carrier and the products and the significance that they have in the marketplace, get you to understand their sweet spots so that when you go out there competitively, you're prepared to present the information. Just a couple of little housekeeping pieces for us. Number one, make sure your phone is on mute. The system does have you muted, but occasionally something will slip through. Second, we ask that you stay with us until the end. Not only will we review basically the highlights of the product, but we'll talk about the bonus that we have for you. So with all that in mind, it's my great pleasure this morning to introduce the Inside Sales Coordinator with the SettlersLife Group, and that would be Amy Macias. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here with you this morning. We have a presentation that's kind of going to go over who we are and what we do. If you have any questions, please write them down and save them, and I'll answer any questions you have. I like questions because that way I know everybody's paying attention. So anything you have, just feel free to write it down so you can ask it at the end. And we are Settlers Life Insurance. Our logo is, it's about the people because it is about the people. This is our new partner training. We consider agents partners, not agents, because without you, there is no us. A little bit of our history, who we are. Well, we started in 1933 as Huff Cook. We were a mutual burial association in the state of Virginia. In 1984, they decided to broaden our sales and go into other states, so we formed Settlers Life Insurance so we could go ahead and sell more than just burial policies and be available in other states. Well, in 1999, we were acquired by NGL. They are still our parent company as of today. Today, we're in 42 states. We have products in 42 states. We have over 5,000 partners that are actively writing. We have grown exponentially just over the last few years. So we've been changing, and we've got major changes to come. What we offer. Now, we're a final expense company, so we have final expense insurance plans. We have 3 immediate benefit plans and 2 graded plans. Our immediate benefits are Gold, Silver, and Silver 2, and our Bronze and Bronze 2 are our graded plans. I'll go over those plans in a few minutes. Then we have some benefits and riders. We have a child-grandchild benefit. We have an accidental death benefit rider and an accelerated benefit rider. And we also have different premium payment options such as life pay, 10-year pay, 20 pay, and even single pay. Now, our Gold plan, this is our best plan. This is an immediate benefit. This is for people that have been in good health for the last 5 years, that aren't taking any medications related to any conditions on the application. They can be smokers, it's just a higher rate for this plan, but they're good height and weight and overall in good health. The coverage on this plan ranges from $2,500 to $50,000 for ages 15 days to 80 years, and $2,500 to $20,000 from 81 to 85. This is, like I said, our best plan offered. Then we have our Silver plan. Now, our Silver plan is for clients who have been in good health for the past 2 years. Maybe they had some kind of cancer or something to that effect 4 or 5 years ago, but they haven't had any treatment since they've had it, and they've been cancer-free for over 2 years. This could be a plan for them. This plan would also pick up somebody that maybe is pill-form diabetic or maybe has height and weight issues. This plan also may pick up somebody that may have bipolar or schizophrenia. So this plan has a few added features that the Gold plan doesn't, but this also is an immediate benefit. And as you can see, the maximum benefit amounts vary by age. Then we have a Silver 2 plan. Now, the Silver 2 plan, I consider it a stopgap between the Silver and the Bronze to try and keep people who are between the ages of 50 and 75 from having to go to a modified plan with a wait. If you have somebody over the age of 50 that maybe they got insulin after they turned 50, this might be a plan for them. Maybe they've had a heart attack. but they've only had one in their lifetime, but they're still taking medication such as blood thinners or something for that heart attack. This could be an option for them. Now, like I said, this is an immediate benefit. The coverage ranges from $1,000 to $15,000. The ages are 50 to 75, and it does keep people from having to get into those modified plans. And then we have the bronze plan. So you have somebody that has health issues, and you need to put them in a plan, and they definitely are interested in Settlers Life Insurance. Well, we have this modified plan. This is a reduced benefit for the first 2 years. What it is premiums paid plus 10%. And then the coverage on that varies from $1,000 to $15,000. This is for ages 40 to 80. Now, this is an accommodation product, and by that we mean we want you to keep your bronze and bronze 2 rates less than 20% of your business. So if you think of it, 1 out of every 5, that's what we mean. This is for when you're in the home or when you're talking to the customers and you've got the wife will qualify for the gold or the silver plan, but the husband's had some health issues and they want to keep both of their plans with the same company. That's what the bronze plan is meant for. Now, the Bronze 2 plan is only available in North Carolina. This is their version of a modified plan. Their coverage range is $1,000 to $10,000. The ages are 40 to 75, and again, it's a reduced benefit for the first 2 years. The child-grandchild death benefit. This is available for all immediate benefit plans, so all gold, silver, and silver 2 policies. It's not available in North Carolina or North Dakota at this point, but it is available in all other states with gold, silver, and silver 2 policies. This is a pretty cool benefit because it's free of charge. It covers children or grandchildren between the ages of 6 months and 18 years of age. They can make a one-time claim of up to $5,000. And they don't have to name the children at the time of application. So the children don't even have to be born at the time of application. They just, if something, God forbid, happens to the children, then they would just need to prove that they're the parent or the grandparent. This does not cover stepchildren, but it does cover fully adopted children. So if you have a step-parent that's fully adopted the child, that counts. If you have just a child that's 100% fully adopted, that counts as well. So this is a really cool benefit, and as far as I understand, no other companies offer this free of charge. So it's something, if you educate your customers, that even if somebody comes in behind you with maybe a policy that might be a couple dollars cheaper, if your customer knows about this plan, this benefit that they have with their policy, they can actually say, do you have this? The other company would say no. Well, the customer's going to say, well, I think I'm going to keep this one since I know my grandbabies are covered too. Accidental death benefit rider. Now, this is additional coverage if death results in an accident as defined by the rider. Basically, an accident would be not having a heart attack and wrecking your car and dying because of that, but a big wreck taking you off the road. It'd be a true accident. But this is available at a small additional charge, up to $100,000 if they're over age 40. It's available for ages 15 days to 70 years, and it carries until they're age 80. Then we have our accelerated benefit rider. Now, this is added to all gold, silver, silver 2 policies with $5,000 or more in coverage. It's automatically on there. There's no additional cost. And what it is it's an accelerated living benefit if they're diagnosed with a terminal condition or continuous confinement to a nursing home. Most cases, they can get up to 75% of their face amount of their policy to help pay for the costs that they're incurring before they pass. Then we have trusts. Now, we have 2 different kinds of trusts. We have a funeral expense trust and a estate planning trust. The funeral expense trust, there's some limitations on what states it's available in, and there are also some limitations on maximum face amounts. It does vary by state. But overall, the maximum face amount is $15,000 that can go in the funeral expense trust. The cool thing about the funeral expense trust is if somebody's on Medicaid, Medicare, state assistance of any kind, any SSI, they would not have to claim this as part of their assets when they go in and they do their initiation, or when they go in and they fill out their paperwork, when they do their renewals and everything. They don't have to claim this as part of their assets. Now, what will happen is the funeral will be paid, but any excess funds can go to the state Medicaid recovery program, but at least they have the assurance that their funeral and funeral costs will be paid first. And then if there is no Medicaid recovery, then it would go to the estate of the owner. Now, with the estate planning trust, this isn't protected from Medicaid or SSI until after 5 years. Now, after 5 years, it's locked, but before that, they would have to claim it as part of their assets. Maximum face amount is the maximum face amount based on the policy, so it could go up to $50,000. Excess funds are paid to a named beneficiary, and there are no fees. There are no fees for any of our trusts. I highly recommend trusts. Trusts are very good. They're very good for the customer as well as very good for the partner, because the persistency numbers we see with the trusts are much higher than with standard policies. There are some drawbacks, however. There are no benefits with the trust. So they don't get the child-grandchild benefit if they have a trust. They don't get the accelerated death benefit. They can't get the accidental death benefit rider. So that's not available with the trust. But again, it's kind of a give and a take with this whole the whole trust situation. Now, our partnership, like I said, we call you guys partners, and this is why. If you're a partner, SettlersLife is one or two. So you're thinking of SettlersLife first or second while you're talking to a customer. If you're just an agent, SettlersLife is just an accommodation. You'll pull it out whenever you think you can't do anything else. Okay? Renewal focused. We have good renewals, some of the best, I think, in the business. So we really want the business to stay on for a long period of time, not just worry about that first year's commission, but stay on for a long period of time. Where an agent's more focused on getting just that first year commission. We offer personalized training, such as what we're doing right now. Typically, when it's just an agent, the carrier usually doesn't provide any training unless it's done by your GA or IMO. And we also have the ongoing sales support, the how can I help attitude. We are here for you. We realize every one of us, down to policyholder services, underwriting, every one of us in this building believe we are here to help you and we want to make you look good. So we always want to have that how can I help attitude. With our partnership, though, we have different expectations than most companies. I know you've all heard the word persistency before. Persistency is actually something, even though it is on this chart, something that doesn't get looked at first. For us, we're looking at the bronze ratio. If the bronze rate is less than 20%, and the 3-month and the 12-month lapse ratios are in line, less than 12 and less than 25%, then your persistency should be in line. Now, what I mean by 3-month lapse ratio is 3-month lapse ratio would be if you wrote something and it got approved today and it fell off within the first 3 months, that would count against that number. If it fell off within the first 12 months, it would count against your 12-month lapse ratio number. And again, if those two numbers are in line, your persistency is going to be very, very good. Persistency actually can be good with having those two numbers out of whack. That's why we look at those two numbers, because we care about keeping the business for the long term. We care about making sure you get those renewals, and we care about that customer staying with their policy and keeping it on the books. You'll see a column there for time without production, less than a month. We like to see, especially at first, 5 apps. That's when you really get to know a carrier. If you send in 5 apps, you get to know the carrier gets to know you. You know, you get to know the ins and outs, you get to know the little quirks, you get to know what you can and can't do. You get really familiar with the product. Well, we like to see you continue that at least a few apps a month, just to keep yourself fresh and knowing what's going on. So if it's been more than a month since we've seen an application, we might pick up the phone and give you a call just to check in on you, make sure everything's okay, make sure nothing went awry, nothing went crazy with you, and make sure see if there's anything we can do to help. Okay, so to summarize our partnership, We have a friendly, experienced staff, 24/7 partner website and online reports. We have first-year and ongoing rewards programs. We have competitive commissions. There's 100% vesting upon appointment. That means from day one, you write that first policy, it stays on the books. You will continue to get paid, even if you decide final expense is not your cup of tea and you move on down the road. As long as that policy stays on the books, you're going to get the commissions for it. And we exist to pay claims. By that, we paid 99.6% of our claims last year. We really want to make sure that the customer is going to get what they are applying for and what they're paying for. Now let's go over the application. In Section A, with the application, let me start off with this. It's a progressive application. Think of it that way every time you're working it, and you should be successful at completing the application the way it should be completed. So always start from the top and work your way down. So in Section A, as you can see on the slide here, you have sections that are boxed off in red and then a few things that are highlighted. The sections that are boxed off in red are required fields. The sections that are highlighted, we find, are commonly missed. So, of course, we need their name, their gender, their date of birth, backdate to save age. Yes, we can backdate to save age. We can go up to 6 months back, but with the application, we need however many months we're going back, plus 1 in order to backdate to save age. Little hint when it comes to backdate to save age. Say you're writing somebody today and their birthday's tomorrow. We go by today's age. Even if you can't get the telephone interview done today, or even if it's not going to be approved today, we go by the date on the application as far as their age goes. Then be sure and complete the birth state and birth country. Yes, if they're born in the United States, put USA on there, because there are some birth states that are actually countries in other parts of the world. Then we need their social. Some people are apprehensive at giving out their social. If you could at least get their last 4, that would be great. If not, you can put did not want to provide, and that is okay too. But if you can, and at claim time, the more information we have, if the customer understands that, the more likely they would give you their social security number. Then we have resident address and mailing address. Even if they're not getting mail at their resident address, we always have to have a physical address for a customer in order to sell insurance. So we have to have the resident address on here. And if the mailing address is the same, you can just write same on that line. And then at the bottom, is this going to be an NGL trust? You would mark no if it's not a trust, or yes, and then which kind of trust it is, FET being the funeral expense, and EPT being the estate planning. Now, those other things that are on there are very helpful, but they're not required. Now, policy owner information. Again, red boxes are required. Policy owner information, of course, we need their name, their address, their date of birth, their social, and their relationship. The additional information, the phone number and email, would be helpful, but we don't have to have it. Now, with the beneficiary, we have to just have their name and their relationship. When it comes to beneficiaries, we can't have all living children. It has to be all their names. If you need to use a separate sheet of paper or use the agent remarks, that's fine. You can do that. But we just have to know who they are and know what their relationship is. If it's multiple people, if they're equal shares, that's fine. But if it's different shares, definitely put the percentages on wherever you write all the names down. The more information we have at claim time, the better it is. But if at least we have their name and their relationship, we can go ahead and process the application. Now, moving on to the health questions. Back to this is a progressive application. Always start from the top and work your way down. Even if you know somebody's in perfect health and they're going to qualify for the gold plan, you need to ask all the questions all the way down for the gold plan. So the example we have here. Person was able to say no for the first two questions, which are the bronze questions. Then they were able to say no in all of the silver questions. Then they get down to the gold plan, and they had to say yes to the first question in the gold plan. So based on the information and the way they answered this, it looks as if the person would qualify for silver. Any yes answer other than the smoking question would disqualify them for the plan that they're in. Within that, you have highlighted health conditions. Now, those highlighted health conditions are the most common reason we have medical pendings. So, diabetes with insulin, neuropathy, stent placement, angina, AFib, chronic asthma, COPD, dementia, kidney failure, kidney disease. Those are the most common reasons for pending. Okay, let me go over the diabetes and asthma because those are areas that are really big sticklers for people. Diabetes, if they are pill form diabetic, if they have been told to watch their sugar, if they're diet controlled diabetic, if they're pre-diabetic, put them on the silver plan. If the doctor has even mentioned diabetes, I would suggest putting them on the silver plan. The difference in cost between the gold and the silver plan is just a few dollars, and it'd be best for the customer. Chronic asthma. We consider chronic asthma if they are taking medications 3 or more times a week, every week, year-round. So if they're just taking it like right now during allergy season, and then they don't take it the rest of the year, or maybe in a quick inhaler puff in December when they get a cold or something, that's okay. That's not chronic. But if they are taking it 3 or more times a week, year-round, constantly, then we consider that chronic. With chronic asthma, watch out for the 5 medicines: Spiriva, Symbicort, Advair, Dulera, and the new one, Brio. Those 5 medications are for chronic asthma or even COPD. If they're prescribed any of those 5, then chances are they have either chronic asthma or COPD. There's also a pill form called montelukast that could be connected to chronic asthma. If it's allergy related, we could be okay, but if it's for asthma and they have to take it every day, then that would be chronic asthma for us. With the health conditions, if they're taking medications today for something they were diagnosed with 20 years ago, so say they're taking insulin for diabetes, but they were diagnosed 20 years ago, we consider that current. So if they're taking medication today, even if the diagnosis was that far back, we still consider that a current diagnosis. So keep that in mind while you're out there underwriting. Okay, at the very bottom of that page, this is why I keep telling you progressive application, because there's a couple of questions at the bottom of that page that aren't related to health questions. The reason it's boxed off in yellow is because this is the #1 reason for pending. The very bottom of the health question page has 2 questions asking about existing insurance and replacing. Be sure and answer those. Even if you're doing the bronze, remind yourself, go to the bottom of that page and answer those 2 questions. Okay, let's move on to the premium billing section. Now, within the premium billing section, like I said, we have life pay, 20-year pay, 10-year pay, single pay. Then we have different methods. PAC collect first premium, which means you actually collected the first premium and you're sending it in with the application. PAC draft first premium, that means we're drafting the premium once the application's approved based on the cycle they've chosen. Direct bill, which with direct bill you collect that initial premium and send it in with the application. We have 1035 exchange and list bill. We have different modes. Monthly just means they want to pay their bill every month. Quarterly, so on and so forth, semi-annual and annual. Okay, bill day. No preference means when we're done underwriting the policy, you want it approved immediately. Match existing means they have a policy already with us and they just want to line it up with that existing policy. Day of the month. They can pick any day between the 1st and the 28th, and they can make that their regular draft date of the month. You'll notice I skipped the two things that are highlighted on there, Direct Express and on the blank blank of each month. At this time, we cannot accept Direct Express. When we filed the application, we put it on there because we were considering using Direct Express. To be perfectly honest, the more we learn about Direct Express, there's probably a chance that we will never accept it. I'm just giving you guys that heads up now. Then on the blank blank of each month would be like on the 3rd Wednesday. Say they get their Social Security check on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. Well, we are building this one in. This one should be coming fairly soon. So they should be able to say, I need to have it billed on the 3rd Wednesday of each month, and we should be able to do it. But at this time, we cannot do that. So you need to pick a specific day of the month. Then we have the modal premium amount. Now, the modal premium amount would be your base policy, and if there's any accidental death benefit, you can add it to. You put it right there. Premium collected, again, that would be if you collect the initial premium, you would write that in there. If you did not collect any premium, you just put a 0 or NA. Now, as you can see, faxed apps are accepted if first payment is to be drafted. But that's actually recently changed. We can accept a faxed live check. Keep in mind, when we get that check, it's going to the bank. So if a customer says, I can't have this go to the bank until the 23rd, then don't send it until the 23rd, because we can now accept a fax live check and use that as their initial premium. And we move on to the applicant statement. Now, within the applicant statement, you have the signature of the insured, of course, if they're over 18, the signature of the owner or co-owner, if there is any, and then where the application is signed at. This is often missed as well because it kind of blends in with the rest. Be sure and write the city and state that the application is signed at, and then this section would be complete. Now, if you do have a case where you have a power of attorney or guardianship, something to that effect, refer to the underwriting guideline book or give us a call here at Settlers, and we will explain to you how that needs to be signed correctly. Okay, within the agent statement, does the applicant have any existing life insurance? Notice these are the same two questions that are on the bottom of that health page. These should be answered the same. You'd be surprised how many apps I see that have one set of answers in that first page, in that health question page, and a different set of answers here. They should match because it's whether or not they have existing and whether or not they're going to be using replacing. And are you related to the applicant? If yes, indicate relationship. If no, mark no. So if you're related to the applicant, you'd write yes and put your relationship. Now, we're not looking for fifth cousins, okay? First cousin, second cousin, aunt, uncle, mom, dad, brother, sister, that kind of thing is what we're looking for. So please write how you're related and put that on there. This is significant because family is considered controlled business, and controlled business is as earned. Then, was a telephone interview conducted? You see on there you have the option of no. Well, that's not really an option, just kidding, but we'd rather you try and get that telephone interview done while you're with the customer. There's two different kinds of interviews. We have the standard POS and the enhanced POS. The standard POS would be something that you would use if it was a grandparent taking out a policy on a grandchild or somebody with power of attorney or guardianship. With the enhanced POS, we are ordering the medical information and the prescription information in the background while we're doing the interview. So at the end of the interview, we can ask the customer any additional questions so we can try and qualify them right there on the spot for you. And you should get one of several answers. First answer being approved is applied for. Second answer, maybe we found out that something they didn't tell you, and it turns out that the silver plan would be a better option. So we'll tell you we can counteroffer this to silver at this time. Or maybe they don't qualify for the gold or the silver, but it's a bronze. What you'll be told at that point is, based on the information that we have right now, the best we can do would be our bronze, our modified plan, or you can withdraw the application, or you can ask for further underwriting. If you feel the customer is of good health, that whatever we're getting from the background information is inaccurate, and you want them to stay with Settlers and they really want Settlers, you can ask to be referred to underwriting, and then our underwriters will look into it, maybe request some information from the doctor, but possibly even get it approved based on what information we get back. And then, of course, please sign and date and put your writing number on the application. Again, this is another one that makes me giggle a little when I see it, because there's a lot of applications that come in that aren't signed by the partner. And this is that agent remarks section that I've referred to. Now, within the agent remarks section, you can put things like the note that's here. Client was receiving home health care due to hip surgery. Temporary home health care, even though it's one of the questions, if it's temporary due to something such as hip surgery, then it's actually okay. Anything you feel that the underwriters should know that would help them with their underwriting process. If somebody has some kind of strange condition, but it's not what's on the application, but some of the medications they take are related to things that could be on the app, put a little definition in here. I'd also say, even though we're pulling the script check and the medical information in the background, if you want to list their medications, that would really help the underwriter, because sometimes we don't get all the medications in the first poll. Sometimes we'll get hits later on down the line that say these medications are there. So I would always list the medications and what they're used for. We don't need to know the dosage or anything, just what they're being used for. In this agent remarks section, like I said, you can put additional beneficiaries if you have additional beneficiaries. Also, I recommend with every application in this section, you write make effective for and the name of the month. Make effective immediately means absolutely nothing to underwriting. But if you write make effective for May, make effective for June, we will try and make it effective for the month you're asking for. If there's a conflict, we'll give you a call and let you know what the conflict is and try and resolve the issue. Now, policy payer information. This has to be completed even if it's direct bill. So if the policy payer is the insured or the owner, you just mark one of those two boxes and move on. You don't need to fill out the rest. But if it's someone other than the insured or the owner, we definitely need to have their name and their mailing address, so we have at least that much information for billing of the policy. On the bank authorization form, okay, you put your account holder name in the top, the name of the bank, the city and state. I recommend the city and state of where they opened their account, because the routing numbers are usually tied to where they open their account. Definitely mark whether it's checking or savings. As you can see, there's no direct express. Put the routing number and account number. With banking, it needs to be a true bank. So your online banks, such as NetSpend, MetaBank, Comerica, Green Dot, there's several of them out there. If they do not have a physical branch, then we cannot accept that banking information. So none of the online banks can we accept. If they don't have a physical branch, they never even have to go to their physical branch. They could do all of their banking online with that bank, but there has to be a physical branch tied to the bank in order for us to use that banking information. And then, of course, we need the printed name of the account holder and the account holder's signature. Okay, the reason I went over the application in such detail is because applications absent of errors and omissions are processed quickly. Right now, with the enhanced POS And a clean application, they're getting processed within 24 hours. As long as the enhanced POS is approved as applied for and a clean application, 24 hours processed. So keep that in mind. Double check everything. The required fields, everything that I just showed you with the red boxes around it that show you the required fields, is available on our website for printing. Field underwriting. Okay, you're our eyes and our ears out there. So you're in a home and customers telling you they don't take any medications, but you look over at the end table and you see a pile of medicines. Ask the question. It could be for their dog. It could be for their ailing mom. You never know. But you're the one that's out there in the field, and you're the one that can see what's actually going on. You got a customer that's, sitting in front of you saying they don't have COPD and they've never had oxygen, yet they're wheezing, and you see the oxygen sign when you walk in the house. We rely on you to use your best judgment when it comes to situations like that. Commissions. Now, commissions are paid daily or weekly, and that is actually decided when you do your contracting paperwork. If you have any questions, you can call us and we can tell you how you're set up if you've already sent in your contracting paperwork. If you haven't, just be sure and mark which way you want it, whether you want it daily or weekly. Daily is paid usually within 2 days after we receive premium. So if we're drafting the initial premium, we will pay after the policy drafts. Let me explain that a little further. If you're writing somebody today on the 11th, but they want their policy drafted on the 3rd of each month, we are not going to draft until the 3rd of next month. So your commissions will not be released until after that. Now, if you collect the initial premium, as soon as the policy is issued, commissions are released. So like I said, if you're daily and you've collected that initial premium, you're going to see your commissions within a couple of days after we approve the policy. We have a partner website. Within the partner website, your default username is just going to be your social. Your default password, first letter of your last name capitalized, last 6 of your social, followed by an exclamation mark. There's an example here on the page. If you've never gotten onto the website before, once you get on it using these passwords, the default passwords, it's going to force you to change it. So be prepared to change it and be prepared to write down your password so you have it for future use. Okay, within our partner website, there's some really cool things. We have information, announcements, things you need to know, changes that are coming, changes that have happened, stuff about the conferences, stuff about any kind of promotion we might be running. We often run contests. That's all going to be on here. Also within it, we have quick links to the reports page, or where you can order and print forms such as applications, or if you need a quick replacement form or something like that and you just don't have it, you can get on the website and get it out. Also, you have the ability to calculate a premium right there from the website. We've got the newsletters on it, AML training. Our AML training on the website takes about 3 minutes. We all tried it just to see how long it would take. It literally takes about 3 minutes and you're done. You don't need to worry about it anymore. And then there's agent training. We have really neat training videos that cover everything from the applications to trusts to 1035s. We've even got some trainings on how to sell. So there's some really good information out there. I recommend everybody get on the website and check it out. Then the rate calculators. Of course, we have the online rate calculator, like I just said, on the website. Then we have a desktop calculator that you can download from the website. Then we have the iPhone and Android phone calculator. That's really cool. You just go into your App Store, your Google Play Store, type in SettlersLife, and it'll come up SettlersLife Rate Calculator. It's going to be the same username and password that you use to get on to the website. And what's really cool about it is once it's downloaded, you don't have to have cell reception to use it. You just have to have cell reception to update rates if we have a rate update. A feature within the iPhone and Android app is that you can calculate affordable. So you go into somebody's home and they say, I can only afford to spend $40 a month. You can put in their age, their what plan they qualify for, and put in $40 a month, and it'll tell you how much they can get for that. It'll even give you a little bit more and a little bit less. So it's a really cool app, and I can't tell you how many times I've broken it out, and I'm not actually a licensed agent, but I've had people ask me rate quotes. And I'll break it out and give it to them. Okay, let's go on to our selling system. We've got a really cool selling system here that we've spent a lot of time to develop. We call it our covered program. Now, within our covered program, it walks you all the way through from beginning to end on the whole selling process. Okay, our brochure, it's a folded brochure that you can actually put in front of your customer to where they can read it and you can walk through it. It's kind of divided into 4 sections with the blue banner through the middle. So you got your first section that explains the cost and the estimated cost of a funeral in 2030. Then you have in the blue section, who's going to pay for it? Kind of getting them to think about it. Then the next section talks about why prepare today. It explains that you can make up to 130 decisions in the first 24 hours after a death. The more things that are laid out for them, the easier it is. Then the next section is the Get Covered section. And with that, you can see that there's boxes that you can check while you're going through it and discussing it with the customer. And then, of course, we think life insurance should be more than a piece of paper and a promise. So it goes on to that last section that talks about our end-of-life coverage. Let me explain a little bit about what our end-of-life coverage, end-of-life assistance is. Our end-of-life assistance is with every policy. Somebody has a policy, and say the daughter lives in California and the kids are in Maryland. The mom's in Maryland. Mom passes. They've been out to visit. She's been out to visit mom, but doesn't know where the funeral homes are, doesn't even know who to talk to about Medicare, SSI, anything like that. Well, that's when she can pick up the phone and call us. We can lead her in the right direction. We're not going to in one specific place, one specific funeral home. We're going to give her a list of the funeral homes in the area. We're going to give her a list of maybe the florists in the area. We're going to try and be the person to think for them. Because if you've ever been through it where you have to make those decisions, it's often hard to think. So that's what we're going to do, because those of us that are on the phone that are handling the end-of-life calls all have experience in doing this. So we're very good at walking people through what they need to know and making them think about the things that they may not have thought about, such as maybe mom had retirement and they need to contact the company she had the retirement through, stuff like that. Also, with the end-of-life services, if somebody goes into, say, mom's home again, and they look around, the house is trashed, and mom's normally a neat freak. They go in the kitchen, the stove's on, but there's nothing cooking. They know something's up, but they don't know where to turn. They can call us, and we can help them find home care, assisted living, nursing home, such as that. So we can help direct them before, during, and after death. Then we have a covered planning guide. Now, this is a really cool guide because you can leave it with the customer. It's got a summary page at the very beginning for policy benefit and premium amounts. It's got a consumer rights under the FTC funeral rule in there. It's got planning pages for the client, end-of-life resource numbers and numbers to call us if they need additional help, and even a place to insert your business card. Now, that consumer rights under the FTC rule is really important. The more you educate your customer, the more loyal they will be, and the more likely they will stay with the company that you sell them. So with that, within this guide, we have provided them the laws of what a funeral home can and can't do. Okay? This is very empowering. I personally have gone to a funeral home, had to plan something, ended up finding out later on down the line that I could have done it a lot less expensive. And that's what this explains to them, that they can actually order a casket from Costco or Walmart and have it shipped to the funeral home at a fraction of the cost of what that funeral home's going to charge them for one right there, and the funeral home has to take it. It explains all of those ins and outs of the law, so they are more empowered while they're planning this. And the magnets. The magnets are really cool because it's got all of our information on it. It talks about, what SettlersLife is, get covered, money to cover final expenses, free end-of-life assistance, and prompt claims. It's even got phone numbers on them to reach out. And then it's got a section where you can put your business card. And everybody loves a magnet. I mean, I can't tell you how many magnets are on my refrigerator, especially when my kids were growing up. So magnets are great, a great tool, and they're also a great referral tool. You can give one to the customer, and then you can say, well, how about I give you one of these, or get one of these to one of your beneficiaries so they know who to call if something's going on. Or maybe your neighbor might be the person that helps you out. So would you mind if I give Miss Smith, your neighbor, a magnet and let her know what we've done here? It opens the door for you to possibly generate more sales as well. Let's go over our rewards programs. We have the Expedition to Excellence program. Now, this program is available for all partners for the first 12 months after writing their first application. So you write an application and it gets approved today. Today starts the 12 months. Rewards are given at different levels of production. Starts out with a reward with the first app, then at 10, 20, 40, 60, 75, 100, and 150. If you can get 150 issued policies on the books within the first year, you can get a weekend getaway for two at the Grove Park Inn in Asheville, North Carolina, and $250 in spending money. So that's a pretty cool incentive for your first year. Then we have a pick-a-place program. If you write $12,500 in net annualized premium within 90 days of your first app being approved, you can pick a place to spend a 3-day, 2-day. And what it is anywhere in the continental United States, and we'll pay your airfare, your hotel cost, and give you $300 to spend. Then, of course, our conference. And we have two levels of our conference. One level is if you haven't written anything and you're new with us, you need $35,000 to qualify this year to go on the cruise. If you are already with us and have been writing, you do need $50,000 to qualify for the cruise. You need $100,000 to get a 2-day in New York before the cruise. So the cruise is to Bermuda. It's 5 days. The New York stay is 2 days. So if you can reach $100,000 in your first year, you will get New York and the cruise to Bermuda. But like I said, it's really reachable for just the cruise as well. I'd love to see everybody on there, and I'm kind of expecting to see everybody on there. So let's get writing. Then we have our rewards program. This is our benchmark bonus program. This is available to everybody, no longer how long you've been writing with us or how short you've been writing with us. What it is the quality benchmark bonus. If you send in $3,334, you get a bonus of $350 the next month aside from your commissions. That's just a check written to you, and that's for you to do whatever you feel the need as far as your business or whatever you need that for. With quality benchmarks, though, these are very, very, very strict. The bronze has to be less than 20%. The 13-month persistency over 75, the mortality less than 3%, but your 3-month needs to be less than 12%, and your 12-month needs to be less than 25%. We have a local guy that's actually one of our top 5 producers here that has actually missed the benchmark several times because his bronze was at 21%. So I'm telling you now, this is very strict. but it's so your business will last. That's what this bonus is designed for. It's designed for long-term business and to get it on the books. If you send in $8,334, you're going to get a check the next month for $1,000 if your quality's there. And that's what we're trying to encourage with this particular bonus. And then we have our Spartan program. Now, our Spartan program, if you're sending in $16,667 a month, you're automatically enrolled in the Spartan program. And with that, you'll never pay another appointment fee. Your business is processed first. By first, I mean we have a couple of Spartans, and the day their business comes in is usually the same day it's approved and goes out. You get an extra $2,000 a month on the benchmark bonus program. You have the potential of earning 3 incentive trips in the first year. You have added bonuses. You get additional cash for the sales conference, and you have an in-suite accommodation upgrade. You also can get up to $200 in free branded shirts, jackets, and more. And also you get personalized individual training and support. Now, as you know and can tell right now, you do get personalized individual training and support. But with the Spartan program, you get even more. You get me. You get the ability to pick up the phone, call my line direct. I find out what your issue is or find out how I can help you, and I get it done as quickly as possible. So it's a really cool program. Definitely, I'd love to see more Spartans. So definitely a goal to reach toward. Now, we have a partner support team here. They are trained, fully trained. Everybody that answers the phone here either will know the answer or they have the ability to say, I don't know, but let me find out, or let me get somebody that can help us. They're not going to give you an answer if they don't know the answer. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And like I said, our online is available 24/7. So you see some numbers up here. You can call those numbers. Need anything, don't hesitate to call. I want to hear about everything. You can call our partner support team. You can call in if you have an advanced problem or an advanced situation. You can always ask for me, and I can help you out in any way I can. But I'm here to tell you our partner support team is very well trained, and they know, like I said, the answers, or they know how to get the answers. So don't hesitate to call. Checking on business, we're here if you're in a customer's home and you want to find out what plan they qualify for because they have some kind of weird conditions and you're not really sure where to put them. You can call us. We're here to make you look good. And that's everything I have to say. I want to encourage you to get out there, write that first piece of business, put in those 5 apps so you get to know us and we get to know you.
Amy, thank you very much. Excellent, excellent job. Not only did you present information to us, but you went ahead and gave us the tools, and that's so important. The information, again, that we had today, I think a couple of things came out, but I want to tell you as a selling agent myself how easy it is to use their application and the fact that you do step down in that progression or step up, being the case in some to the gold, but it really does simplify your process. So you know what happens when you get that yes answer, that you need to go to the next level. The fact that the company not only provides the 3 tiers for your clients, whether healthy or maybe not so healthy, but that they back you up with the products that they can get the guarantee issued to for, again, modified benefits. The grandchild rider at no cost. Just, again, a nice courtesy, a nice extra. And it kind of speaks well to settlers because, again, too, I can tell you that there's so many companies out there that are not agent-friendly, but you will always get a smiling voice when you call into Settlers, and they will accept that call. And just as Amy said, if the person you first get can't answer the question, they always get you to someone who can. So obviously that's a great benefit. Put back into your toolbox too the fact that they have that accidental death benefit, because oftentimes I get calls from agents and they want to know where we can go for that accidental death benefit, and here's $100,000 of it available to you right away. And of course the accelerated death benefit also. I did have a question, Amy, on the trust. So if an agent is writing just a goal plan and they want to indicate it as an estate planning, all they have to do is check that box on the application. Is that correct?
Well, they check the box on the application, and we have trust forms for them to fill out.
Okay. So that would be an additional paperwork with the normal application. Okay. Very good. Thank you. And again, the progression you gave us on the application process, the tools, I think you gave us everything we need here but a place to go and sell it. So that's where I guess you got to put your own shoes on, ladies and gentlemen, and get out there today. Or if you're fortunate enough to be in Florida and do some beach work, I guess you don't need your shoes either. Also, again, to agents, and this is a question, Amy, I have for you. It's been so long since I first got contracted with Settlers, I can't even remember when, but I know when I did, I got a wonderful startup kit in the mail with everything I needed for my state and for other states I was appointed with to get started. Is that still the same?
Yes. We send out a kit. Within the kit, it's going to have like a couple of brochures. It's not going to have a whole lot of stuff, but it's going to have pretty much everything. It's going to have everything I went over today, plus a few additional things like the medication reference guide and a few other things like that. But those go out as soon as we get the contracting paperwork and get them assigned a number. Those kits go out.
Excellent, excellent. Because again, let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's an excellent starter kit of information. You can still get all the information you need, whether you want to come over to our Messer website and use our Agent Resources tool where we have the information available, or again, as Amy mentioned, you can go directly to their website. We do need you to have a contract, though. That's kind of important. So if you don't have a contract with Settlers yet through us, please, again, come over to our website and get over to the Agent Resources tab at the top of the page. First drop down is our online contracting, and complete that work. Also, once you become familiar with the tools on the Messer site, we also actually have a tool to help you do the quote. But as Amy said, you've really got three alternatives with them, their own website, or dropping it into your desktop, or getting that iPhone app. So there's a lot of things out there that are going to work and make your job easier. Personally, I love that client brochure. That client brochure is almost like a small sales presentation. So if you're a little skittish and you're a little uncomfortable about how you're going to do the door opener and how you're going to run through the necessary information, get that little client brochure opened up and just kind of follow it line by line. You've got it all done. I think the magnets are new. I know that that was something that Rob was real high on when he visited us earlier this year. And when they come around, get some of those magnets. I mean, again, there's nothing better than having your little advertising tool out there. And this recorded presentation today is also available to you probably within the next 48 hours max. And that's important because I did notice we had a number of people that joined us late, so you missed some of the very early information. So please, again, go over to the Messer website. It's a very simple thing. Go over to Agent Resources. On the drop-down box, come down to our Messer Learning Center. It'll be the third one there. Click on that, and it'll have the most current presentation, which will be Amy's presentation this morning, as well as it's a library for every carrier's presentation we've done in the past. Okay, so final thing. Commissions are great to have, obviously. That's what we're all in the business for. And we'd like you to have an additional bonus besides all the rewards. And again, too, Settlers does an excellent job of setting you up with bonuses and specialties. What we'd like to do here at Messer is provide you with an additional $50 sales bonus for your first application that becomes approved, which again should be in a matter of 72 hours basically, and then a couple of days for us to process. We'd like you to send that application to us, and this would be the case for any of your first business with Settlers. Send it to us so that we can scrub it, so we can make sure all those little yellow lines that Amy brought out that are very commonly missed, we can get back to you, we can get them completed before we actually send that app in so that it's good, nice and clean, and doesn't get held up. And of course, make sure you've taken care of that phone interview. So if you'll send that app into us, that first sale and the first sale only, we will add an additional $50 to your commission. Also, accepting those fax checks, I think, is pretty important today. That's a great situation that you fax it in, it gets cashed, and again, you go into the payroll system through Settlers. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I thank you very much for taking the time out to be with us. Amy, again, thank you very much for a great presentation, keeping us all together here with this. And I look forward to all of you being available with us again next Wednesday, as we'll have another presentation with another carrier, with, again, another group of sweet spots for you to get exposure to. Thank you all, and have a great week.
Thank you.